Yo! Hey guys, it's Rishi here from therippedindian.com. So a lot of you may already know therippedindian.com. If you don't, check it out. I post I post recipes, mainly Indian vegetarian food, related to fitness. I post articles on meditation, post articles on fitness. It's really about a lifestyle, holistic living. I know the name sounds a bit vain, the Ripped Indian. Um, that's not the idea I'm trying to get across, though. When I say the Ripped Indian, it's really trying to convey a lifestyle, right? So first of all, if you want to be ripped, if you want to be shredded, there's certain things that you need to follow. There's a certain lifestyle you need to lead. You can't be eating junk food and getting pissed every single weekend. There needs to be some protocol in place, okay? And the Indian part of it is really about the spiritual aspect that I'm trying to bring into this. So you hear me speak a lot about meditation, about spirituality, and really living holistically, okay? Now, the reason I'm doing this video, this is the first video for a YouTube channel that I'm starting. A lot of the feedback I've been getting is, it's one thing writing articles and posting recipes, but people don't really know you. They don't really know who you are. You need to get yourself out there. You need to get yourself out in the public eye, speak to people directly. So as scary as it is, I'm giving it my first shot. Now, in Hinduism, if you're a Hindu, if you live in India or Hindu anywhere in the world, you probably know that whenever you start something new, we pray to Lord Ganesha, the Lord of New Beginnings, the remover of obstacles. He's, I think his friendly face, makes him children's favorite god. He's arguably the most worshipped deity in the world. And what a lot of people don't realize is that in Hinduism, a lot of it is very symbolic, right? So, you see the elephant face and it looks very nice, looks very cute. You pray to him, we perform all these rituals. But I'm not sure how many people actually understand the essence or the meaning behind what he's really portraying. What he's been created to portray, essentially. So, what I want to speak about today is what he stands for. Looking at parts of his body, like his tusk, his broken tusk. His big ears, his small mouth, his big belly. Looking at some of the tools that he's got. He's got an axe in one of his upper hands. He's got a noose or a rope, in another hand. He's got a mouse. He holds a laddu, an Indian sweet. So all of this, it's not just there to make him look nice and friendly. It has some meaning behind it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to share with you today. Now, the first one, this is my favorite one, which is why I'm starting with it. Is his broken tusk. So a lot of you probably know or you heard of the Mahabharata. Okay, the Mahabharata is one of the world's longest epics, longest poems ever written. It's over 200,000 verses, and it was dictated by a sage called Vyasa. Okay, and he was looking for somebody to write it, but 200,000 words is no tiny task. So what he said was, I'm gonna look for somebody who's the most capable of actually doing this. And Ganesh being the Lord of Wisdom, the Lord of Knowledge as well, he said, okay, he requested Ganesh to actually write the Mahabharata. Now, when he made that request, Ganesh he put a condition. He said, all right, I'll write it, but you need to say the entire epic, the entire Mahabharata in just one sitting. We're not going to get up, we're not going to have any breaks, you need to do it in one entire sitting. Now, Vyasa understood that this is, it's a huge task, but I think what he was really worried about is, can I actually keep up with Ganesha's speed of writing? Because this guy's the Lord of Wisdom and Knowledge, he's the be-all and end-all. Can I keep up with him? So he put out a condition of his own, and that was, fine, we'll do it in one sitting, without any breaks, but you can only write the words down once you've understood them. Okay, so he thought that this is going to give him a bit more time to just think and reflect, before he's laying out these verses. So they started, okay? They started, you know, Vyasa's dictating, Ganesha's writing really furiously, and in the rush of everything, Ganesha's feather, he had a feather pen, and it broke. So now Ganesha's thinking, all right, my pen's broken, there's nothing else around here I can write with, but I've made a promise to finish this in one sitting. You know, a promise, almost a challenge to finish in one sitting. So what can we do about this? So, you know, he looks around, there's nothing around, he gets resourceful, and he breaks one of his tusks. He's got an elephant face. He breaks one of his tusks and continues writing with that until they're finished. So what does that tell us? It's, you know, it's the embodiment of that whatever it takes attitude toward achieving your goals, toward, you know, finishing a task that you set yourself to. So, you know, in fitness, we have all these excuses, you know, oh, I woke up late today, I don't really feel it today, I haven't eaten the right things, I don't really feel like going to the gym. And we need to take a step back and say, you know, do I have that whatever it takes attitude? Am I going to deliver no matter what? Okay, so just using that, you know, symbolism from Ganesha and applying it to your own life, applying it to fitness, I think that's a fantastic way of looking at things. Now, this was a bit long because I wanted to give you the story behind this, but I'm gonna just briefly brush through some of the other the other aspects of Ganesh. Okay, so coming in second, we've got his big ears and small mouth, and what that really means is, you know, listen more, talk less. Simple as. If we apply that to life, if we apply that to relationships, you know, there's no doubt that if you have a girlfriend or you have a wife and you listen to her more than running your mouth, it's going to be a successful relationship, right? Coming in after that, we've got, so he's got a large elephant head, all right? Now, that also is a symbol, and that symbolizes thinking big, you know, he's the Lord of Wisdom, the Lord of Knowledge. It's about thinking big, it's about having big goals, and, you know, in our own lives, in our own fitness, or in our own, you know, career or relationships or whatever, why think small? Why not have, you know, a larger than life attitude and actually go for those goals? So that's something that I've definitely taken from him. After that, he's got, you'll notice, very, very small, minuscule eyes. Okay, and that's a symbol as well. So that portrays, you know, as much as you're thinking big, as much as you have all these big ideas, you need to be able to, you know, to deliver and to actually execute on them. And in order to execute, you need to have laser-like focus. So the small eyes represent having laser-like focus, you know, that almost that tunnel vision in life to actually achieve your goals, you know, be it fitness, be it career, no matter what it is. So having that tunnel focus, okay? Moving forward from that, we've got, Ganesh has a big belly. You know, you'll always see he's got a massive belly. So what's the belly? You know, what does belly have to do with fitness especially? That's clearly not what we're going for, right? So one theory or one belief is that, you know, the entire cosmos, the entire universe is contained within Ganesha's belly. So he is literally, you know, he has the universe within him. He controls everything. But another way, you know, a spiritual way of looking at it is, it's a sign of contentment, of acceptance. You know, be content with what you have, whether it's good or bad. You know, if you're in a bad situation and you want to come out of it, the first thing you need to do is to accept, you know, to accept the problem, to accept the situation before you can start working toward actually getting out of it, right? So that's what the belly is all about. The teachers in Buddhism, the teachers in any, you know, spiritual sort of line that you're looking at is you know, you need to have acceptance in order to have peace of mind, in order to concentrate and get out of your situation. And the other one is just, you know, accepting good or bad. So whether you're in a good place or whether you're in a bad place, you know, it's life. Nothing lasts forever. So just, you know, accept what you have, be content, but have that peace of mind to really, really progress and move forward from there. Okay. So we've spoken about, you know, his body parts, right? So his big ears, his small eyes, his big head, his belly. What I want to speak about now is some of the tools that he has. So you don't see this in all idols of Ganesh, but there's one where he's got 4 hands, which is really I think one of the fuller versions of his representation. And in that you'll see he's got an axe in his upper right hand, I believe, and the axe is basically it's there to cut off any unhealthy attachments that you have, to detach yourself. So in the spiritual world we talk about detachment as detachment from worldly things. If we bring that into fitness, it's really detachment from things that don't serve you. Junk food, alcohol. Yes, everything is fine in moderation to an extent, but it's really being able to have that control and not give in to those desires. So having that axe to cut yourself off from anything that's not serving you, that's not serving your goal. The next one is in his upper left hand, I believe. He has it's called a noose or a rope, and the rope again, Ganesh uses a rope to actually remove obstacles from your path, which is what we believe, that when you pray to Ganesh, he's the obstacle remover. He gets you from A to B much quicker than you would be able to otherwise without having that faith. But how we can apply that is, having that same, using that rope as a mechanism of control, and it's really controlling one's mind, bringing one's mind to a place of stillness, bringing one's mind to a place where you can be objective, you can take a step back, you can be the observer. So anytime you have in fitness, if you have a craving for, let's say, junk food, or want to have a pizza, or want to go and get a night out and get drunk, but I've got this goal, I'm trying to eat these calories and I need to focus on that. So it's really using that metaphorical rope and having that control over your mind, that control over your desires and the actions that you take toward that. Okay, so we've done the axe, we've done the rope. Now there's two, the last two I'm going to speak about are they're quite funny, right? So these, when they're presented on a statue of Ganesh, you've got the mouse. The mouse is always below him. He's either riding the mouse, or the mouse is at his feet, and then you've got the laddu, or the laddus, the Indian sweets, right? So those are, when you see that, you're thinking, okay, what's this guy doing? He's an elephant face, he's got a mouse, and he's got some laddus. It just looks like he's eating and having a good time, right? But those are symbols as well. So the mouse basically symbolizes our desires, right? So he rides on the mouse, he rides the mouse, and it's basically a symbol of saying, you need to be on top of your desires, you need to be in control of your desires, right? So whether that's, in this day and age, junk food, alcohol, trash TV, whatever it may be, any form of distraction that you face, from your goal, you need to be on top of it. You need to treat it like that mouse and basically just rise above it and be above it. Okay, so that's the mouse. And the last one is the laddu. Okay, so we're probably always wondering, what are the laddus doing there? Are they just for him to eat, or what are they there for? So obviously, when we know Ganesh loves food, whenever you pray to him, you always offer, as a sign of just gratitude, you offer food, you offer incense sticks, you offer laddus. But the laddu also is a symbol, and it's a symbol of the sweetness of life when you follow the path that we've just spoken about. The path of having control over your mind, the path of being in control of your mind, the path of having detachment from worldly things is a spiritual term, but just having detachment from, I don't need all these things that I think I need. I can cultivate discipline and taste the sweetness of the laddu of life, but by living the right way, because you're going to be happy if you're doing the right thing. At the end of the day, that's what happiness comes down to, isn't it? If in your heart of hearts that you're doing what you want to be doing, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that gives gives me a lot of happiness. I'm sure it gives you guys a lot of happiness as well. So there you have it. I hope you found that useful. Again, if you haven't seen the website, therippedindian.com, I'm also on Instagram at Rishi Dave Coaching. Check it out, Peace and love. Thank you.